My name is Babatunde Alabopo. I'm a Nigerian transsexual here in America, and I'm being terrorized by the NYPD. I have proof they killed a black American trying to help me, Eric Garner. While I was in court with this case, he was helping me with the court case, Eric Garner. And when I sued the NYPD for taking my home, I sued my landlord also on Staten Island, and they want to kill Eric Garner. So I was listening to WABC radio today, November 23rd, 2025. And I'm under the FBI surveillance. As you can see, I'm near the police camera. I used to have an immigration case when my mother brought me in 2000 from Nigeria. I was a minor child. My mother had a green card. They arrested me at JFK wrongfully. Said I didn't have a visa and they're going to deport me. Even though I had a visa, they confiscated my visa, and they said children are not allowed here. But the protocol says even if a child of a permanent resident arrives and doesn't have a visa, they're just supposed to give me a humanitarian parole visa and let me in. You're not supposed to deport a child of a permanent resident. But they decided to discriminate against me because I'm a Nigerian and arrested me as a minor child at JFK, even though my mother had a green card. And the case lasted 8 years, but I was bailed out of prison while the case continued. So right now, they've killed my friend Eric Garner for trying to help me. My mother's also been killed. So they still put me on the FBI surveillance. They say once they put you on FBI surveillance as an immigrant, they don't remove it. Even Americans like Martin Luther King, even throughout his life, he was on FBI surveillance as soon as they put him on. So once they put you on FBI surveillance, they don't remove you, especially if you're a foreigner. So so anytime they notice, so they surveil my phone and stuff. So anytime they notice, I was uploading videos, just now to YouTube. And they know anytime I'm uploading videos like that, I may want to file a report. Most likely I'm trying to file a report on Instagram against this police. So this is the video I was uploading to YouTube. So I was also listening to WABC radio with my earphone. They said this guy, Roger Stone, is Trump's friend, but I think he was arrested for helping Trump trying to overthrow Biden during the January 6, 2021 insurrection. So he has a show on WABC radio. WABC radio is owned by a Greek immigrant who's now a U.S. citizen, Casper Cities, and is friends with Trump. So I always listen to this ABC radio just to check up on what these Republicans are doing, against immigrants. They always say on that radio station that immigrants are invaders. So as I was trying to upload videos to expose this NYPD for their terrorizing me, killing Eric Garner, to add more evidence, contact people on Instagram, International Criminal Court and stuff, So as I was trying to do that, they could tell, I'm already uploading videos on YouTube to serve as my proof, I was uploading video on YouTube to serve as my proof. Let me just try to find the video again. I'm still uploading it. I think it finally uploaded. So I think that video finally uploaded. Yeah, that's the video. It just uploaded 21 seconds ago. So all of a sudden I'm listening to WABC radio on my phone, also one of the phones I'm listening. This one especially I'm holding in my hand right now. And then they played a jingle. So it ain't going anywhere. Anytime they play that jingle like that, when I start uploading video to Instagram will just block me. So your comments are out of control. So they said this Trump is accused of doing obstructing justice with catch and kill. Stormy Daniels said she was trying to report that Trump was paying her as a prostitute with political donations wrongfully, and they said a newspaper brought the story from Stormy Daniels, said they were going to publish it, and they didn't publish it. So they're doing a catch and kill, and also before the WABC radio played a jingle, so it ain't going anywhere, So I guess to stop me from publishing, I was googling a train crash in Penn Station on September 9th. There was a train crash in Penn Station on September 9th, because they always voted me in that Penn Station, and they said the workers, they said they want more money, So and they said they wanted Trump to support the effort to get more money, and they almost called the police on me that train station anytime I tried to use the bathroom there. So they said on September 9, a train crashed into debris. You know, so this is the report from the Daily News for September 9, saying you know, says service delayed. It was breaking news on September 9. Daily News quickly did a report said September 9. You know, Tuesday morning. You know, so September says so somebody left debris on the train track and the LIRR train crashed into the debris. So it was so mysterious that somebody didn't screw the train door properly and the train door fell as the train was driving and another train barged into the train door on the track. You know, they said this happened on September 9. This is very significant because they said the LIR workers said they want Trump to intervene, they need more money. And I've been honest, they've been trying to kill me that Penn Station anytime I go there because I criticize this Trump a lot, I expose the secret. You know, so I guess they want to, I don't want to call the police on me. And I guess, you know, so you know, they said they were the train crash in LIR on September and Trump said it's not going to help these workers get more money. You know, because they've been sending a message, a terroristic message. On September 9 is very significant because on September 9 was the day NYPD invaded my home, took my home, and Uganda was helping with this court case for NYPD taking my home on September 9, 2010. Uganda was helping in 2014 and posted when I choked him dead. You know, so I believe the train crash on September 9, 2025 this year at the Penn Station was to send a terroristic message to Trump that we can help you kill this African. This African comes to Penn Station to use the bathroom and we can just call the police on this African and kill them. But help us, you know, with our union demand, and Trump says it's going to help them with the union demand. So anytime I go to the Penn Station, they try to kill me. Yesterday I went to the Penn Station, they tried to kill me again. You know, they called the police on me, I'm an African, this NYPD is terrorizing me, you know. So I'm going to play the video of me going there yesterday. So I think this is an illegal, you know, quid pro quo where this Penn Station police and the LIR workers want to kill me and have Trump support the effort to get more pay. You know, so yesterday I went to the Penn Station again to use the bathroom because it's a place that has many bathrooms. So they know as a homeless, since the NYPD took my home in 2010, I always go there to use the bathroom. And I've been noticing every time I go there, they'll call the police to throw me out of the bathroom so that, you know, I could be angry and the police can kill me. So, you know, yesterday they did it again. I just got it, I don't say my back stinks. My back don't stink. It don't stink. Can I get a police report, please? Because I'm always getting attacked in the bathroom. I'm always getting attacked in the bathroom when I'm in Nigeria. And I heard you're doing the immigration raid. Yeah, the reason I came in here is because we're clean, right? We don't just check the bag. And they said my back stinks? Yeah. That's a racial stereotype. I'm a Nigerian. So as soon as I went to the bathroom, they said, you know, you say you can't use the bathroom, your back stinks. I like, my back stinks? This is a bathroom, everybody's using the bathroom. Maybe they're smelling their own doo-doo. They say, no, your back stinks, you have to leave. You can't be in the bathroom, your back stinks. So they were just trying to kill me, you know. This was yesterday at the Penn Station. And this was, you know, they were just trying to get me angry so that they'll say, you know, I'm disobeying authority. And I heard that they arrested a lot of gays and deported them. But in my case, you know, they said that the gay people, they will go to the men's bathroom and lure them with sex. The gay foreigners and call the ICE to deport them. You know, so this time removing me from the bathroom at the Penn Station. They just make up excuses, you know, and nobody was holding their nose. If my back stinks, wouldn't people be holding their nose and the police are laughing? You know, wouldn't people be holding their nose, saying that my back stinks? You know, so they've been trying to kill me in that Penn Station since I sued the NYPD, and the NYPD, Trump is supporting them. Because they said, you know, Trump has been accused of a lot of crimes. They said, you know, in the 1990s, he went to Bloomingdale and allegedly sexually assaulted a woman, and said the police wouldn't help that woman or something like that. They said, no, you know, so those police officers came into the bathroom and threw me out. So I left when they threw me out. Then I went to shop in the Duane Reade, and they came to the Duane Reade as soon as I was shopping. That's them again. You know, You know, that was when I was raising alarm that if I stink, how come they follow me around and nobody else is complaining? You know, how come they're able to stand and near me if I'm stink? Because I already left the bathroom, so I can't use the bathroom because my bag stink. And apparently they don't smell nothing because they're not covering their nose. So this person needs to be arrested for making fun of me as a Nigerian. If I stink, how come they're not holding their nose and vomiting and arresting me again? Yeah, how come nobody's holding their nose? You can see, I still have my bag with me. So they clearly like, see, nobody's running away from the store. Nobody's crying. You know, so I was telling the Dwayne Reed workers, say, save the video camera. These people are trying to tell me in the bathroom, say my bag stink. You know, so this is the video. You know, I can see, I had my bag with me and they were laughing. So if I was smelling really bad, why would everybody be so calm? Why wouldn't people be running away? You know, nobody ran away. You know, so this is terrorism. They're just trying to kill me in that Long Island Railroad so that Trump can approve their request for increase in pay. So I'm being held for ransom, and this Trump wants me dead also because I've been exposing a lot of stuff about him, you know, corrupt stuff, you know, so it's a whole lot of corrupt stuff, you know. And he also, one of the corrupt stuff was Obama started a federal investigation against the Arugana killer, and the FBI was going to file, and the Justice Department was going to file charges against the Arugana killer, and Trump dropped the case, said that they forgot to file it in court on July 23rd, 2019. You know, on July 7, 2019, that was the 5-year statute of limitation. So I've been raising awareness that Trump dropped the case, claiming that the prosecutors forgot to file it. You know, they were so slow. You know, and people were protesting that how do prosecutors forget to file murder charges against the killer? You know, so I said this is Trump paying the police back, or they say Trump has committed a lot of crimes in New York and the NYPD never arrested him. So now that he became president, one of the NYPD killers had gone on purpose, and Trump forgot to say that his Justice Department 2019 forgot to file the case. So this is why the police want me dead, Trump want me dead. You know, this is many of his corruption. You know, so, and as soon as I arrived at the Penn Station yesterday, November 22nd, a guy tried to push me to the train track. So I'm going to play the video. You know, they already planted the guy. They have me on the FBI surveillance, or whatever train I take. They know what time I go to use the bathroom. So they watch me as I'm boarding the train. As soon as I arrived at the Penn Station yesterday, a guy tried to push me into the train track. It was a black American male. So here's the video of the guy trying to push me into the train track. So, you know, as soon as I arrived, some white girls surrounded me, said crazy, crazy, and they were taunting me. You know, they were dancing, you know, and said crazy, crazy. So I started recording. So some white girls are surrounding me in this Penn Station. I don't want to go into the bathroom and get jumped and killed. So this is the first percent. So as I was recording, this black American male tried to push me into the train track. You're going to see him, you know, soon. You know, he started coming near me as I was recording, you know, and tried to push me into the train track. You know, so he's going to make his appearance. That's him coming towards me. You know, try to push me into the train track. You know, so I ran away from him, and I was going to, and then at some point I was going near my bag, like was trying to push my bag into the train track also. That's him looking at my bag. It was, you know, like was about to push my bag. So I went there to defend my bag, and it came closer to me again. You know, then I went to use the bathroom. The police came to the bathroom, say, you know, you smell, your bag smell. You know, obviously my bag doesn't smell, but that black American guy was targeting my bag. So and one of the things they hate is I just went and got some newspaper, the New York Law Journal. So, you know, on Saturday morning, I went to the courthouse, picked up a lot of New York Law Journal. I read a lot of court papers, you know, because I always learn how to file court cases by reading newspapers like that. You know, so anytime I pick up the newspaper, you know, the New York Law Journal, they will try to, you know, take my bag from me. That was why they were lying that my bag smells. My bag didn't smell. This is what I have in my bag they're trying to take. So this is obstruction of justice. They told all the lawyers in America not to help me. So I have New York Law Journal in my bag. That's what they do now. So they went to arrest me and kill me, take this bag from me, and burn all the New York Law Journal. They said they never let blacks go to the court. In the past, they always obstruct justice, burn them alive. So I just went to the courthouse in Manhattan. They always throw this in the garbage every Friday night. So I go down Saturday morning and pick it up. So you can see, I pick up the old edition, so they don't want me to read it. Because I always learn how to file court papers by reading the law journal. I used to go to the Brooklyn Library to read the law journal, and they would throw me out of the library. So I informed the court as I'm filing this case that, the NYPD always throws me out of the library. Don't let me use the library. During that time, 2014, they went and held Hillary Garner. Don't let me type my court papers in court. They told all the lawyers in America not to help me. I was telling everyone about it. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm going to help you. So your case seems pretty much straightforward. So me and you are going to go to court together, and I'm going to help you. And they went and killed Hillary Garner after that. So this is why they wanted to kill me in the bathroom. For having the law journal. So they basically said the law journal stinks. Justice America stinks. So these are not police officers. These are terrorists. They were trying to kill me because I have law papers. They killed my friend Eric for trying to help me go to court. So the police in America are terrorists. They are killing the black Americans. They killed a black American up in Oregon. I'm a Nigerian. They're trying to kill me yesterday. So Lolita James. I've been reaching out to your office when my mother was alive. You were the public advocate. You would help us. And you did the one time I killed Eric Garner, your fellow black American. And you still want to help me. Because some black Americans don't like Africans. And you're letting them get away with this terrorist. There's every evidence to nail down. And you went to Howard University, Lolita James. It's a black college. Is that what you learned? How to obstruct justice for your fellow black because they're from Africa? You always ignore me, Lolita James. But you say you take police accountability serious. So now they are causing train crashes in the Long Island Garland Railroad on September 9 to get Trump's attention. Because September 9 is the day the police invaded my home on Staten Island. And as Eric Garner was helping with that case, they went and killed him in 2014. Because, and they didn't just kill him, there was a pattern of threats made. So, after they invaded my home on September 9, 2010, I filed this court paper 13 CV5052. I sued my landlord because they said it was a basement apartment, should have rented that basement apartment to me. And I sued the police department for not getting a court order, for not getting search warrants, for just invading my home. There was no emergency in my home. It was just a basement apartment. I lived there for many years. Then I was in a shelter, and so they had me on FBI surveillance. So they saw that when I was in the shelter, they were treating me and my mother so bad in the shelter we can't use the bathroom. They put us in a single people's shelter, so we have to be sharing the same room, but we have to be sharing bathrooms with other people. So they're supposed to put us in the family shelter, where we are supposed to have our own kitchen and our own bathroom. So anytime we try to use the bathroom, people would jump us in the bathroom and stuff, So I was looking for an apartment, So I would go to Craigslist to look for an apartment. So this guy is a former prosecutor. His name is Joe Sevieri. That's his name, the last defendant. Joe Sevieri, that's his name underneath my finger, and he advertised in Craigslist that he has a walk-in apartment for like $800 a month. So I called him on the phone. I said, "Are you sure it's a real apartment?" I said, "I don't want no basement." I said, "It's a walk-in." So like I told him, but he spelled it as walk-in, WALKING. So I told him, "You spelled it as walk-in apartment on Craigslist." I said, "You just playing again?" I said, "No, it's a typo. It's a real first floor apartment. It's not a basement." I said, "Okay, thank you, sir. I'm coming there." So when I got there, they told me to pay money up front. I paid him money up front. Then they put me in a car. It's a white guy, just very. Then they put a Spanish guy into the white car. So that's his partner, it's his employee. And I said, "We're driving to he's driving to the apartment in the Bronx." And he started telling. Then the Spanish guy started saying, "You blacks, you people are like savages. You always, sell each other into slavery. So you're like animals and stuff, like you're not even like real human beings." And the guy was insulting me with racial terms. I was like, oh my goodness. So I was like, I ignored him. I was like, you know what? I guess it's worth getting an apartment in the Bronx. Say you plus like you're like savages, like how could you say a fellow human being to the whites? He says all of you're very violent and stuff. So the white Spanish guy was insulting, says from Dominican Republic. And so I ignored him. So they said they now put over to the place in the Bronx, and then they open up the sidewalk gate. It wasn't a first floor apartment. It was an apartment underground. I have to open up like a fire hydrant gate to go inside on things. I said, no, hell no. No way I'm going to go inside that cellar. I said, me and my mother were removed from a basement apartment and she has a heart problem. I said, I don't want to get scared to death. That there's no way this place is safe. The entrance is on the sidewalk, and you gotta pull the fire hydrant. This is how you open the gate. You lift the metal bar up and go down on the sidewalk. I said, this is not a legal apartment. This is like underground storage for a store. And there's a store above it like this or something like that. He said, I was opening the gate. I said, no, this is even legal. I'm not going there with you. He said, come, I'll show you the apartment. And I went in there. It was underground cellar. I said, I want my money back. He said, you're not going to get your money back. That's I'm calling 911. And so he told me to get back in the car, drove me back to his office. He first thought I was going to give me the money back in his office. So I got back in the car with him. So he kidnapped me into his car under false pretense. They could have killed me in that car. And he told me he's not going to give me my money back. Saying he doesn't issue refunds. So I called 911, and he told me the police wouldn't help you. He said, I'm that important, the police wouldn't help you. And he was laughing, and he drove his Mercedes and left the place. And I waited for the police, and the police would stop. When I approached them, they would speed away. And they kept playing games with me. I was calling 911, and the police would stop, and then they would speed away. And like they waited 2 hours later after it already left. They left around 6 p.m. They came around 9 p.m. They finally started. I was kept calling 911. And they told me, I should sue him in court. That it's not a criminal case. If he took my money and if he defrauded me, that it's just a housing. I should sue him in housing court. I just sue him for fraud. They said they're not going to arrest him, but they took the police report. So then I filed the lawsuit because this Judge Severe. Then I found out it's a former Bronx prosecutor. And since I sued the NYPD, they've been making fun of me. They're having people dupe me. So when I sued them in 2013, I'll give money to people to go and deliver the court papers, process servers. The process server will eat my money, wouldn't deliver the court papers good. This is why I met Eric Garner. And Eric Garner said, I'm so sorry, I'm going to help you. They choked him dead immediately. I said they were laughing when they choked him dead. I knew right away. This fits their pattern of behavior of mocking me as a Nigerian, saying we blacks are savages. And they said they choked him dead, and Trump helped them dismiss. Said when Trump became president by 2019, they said they forgot to file it. So now they're trying to kill me, So anytime I read through the newspaper, like the Law Journal, I went and got the Law Journal on Saturday, and they wanted to kill me in the battle and take it from me because they don't want me to find a lawyer that would help me, and to send a message to Trump that we finally got rid of that African. We are at peace. You are at peace. Cares. And this Trump, incited them to be attacking me by issuing a press conference that's going to go gun blasting to Nigeria with his police and take over Nigeria. I'm the Nigerian Christian. He said he wants to save the Nigerian Christian. So that's why, and he was saying he shut the city down. He shut the whole country down because there's some people here collecting benefits and they don't deserve benefits. It's going to give them a taste of their own medicine. So my food stamp has been cancelled during the shutdown. My food stamp ran out and I reapplied for a new one, and they told me, because all my documents I used to get the food stamp, I've lost it. I've been arrested, my green card is stolen, and they told me I have to resubmit all those documents. I don't even have those documents with me anymore. A lot of it. So they said I can't get no food stamp. And that's when Trump agreed to reopen the country, because when they denied me the food stamp here in New York, so now they're trying to get the police to kill me, and you had WABC radio threatening me, say it ain't going nowhere, as I was trying to record this video. And anytime they try me, and I start posting on Instagram will ban me and say, oh, your videos are too controversial, So finally I couldn't go to court anymore, and they dismissed my case. I didn't have a lawyer, and the guy that was going to help me was killed already. So, In between that also, my mother was telling me that Dora's in Pennsylvania, so my mother fled New York, went to Pennsylvania because she couldn't find a place to live. All the shelters were throwing us out. So I said, as soon as she went to Pennsylvania, our daughters were part of a narcotic gang and they were trying to kill her also. So it's like this NYPD also delegated, gangs in America to kill us, So my mother's drugs were poisoned, especially that Bolani was poisoned with cancer-free poison. And then my mother fled back to New York and she finally died of a heart attack. Of a heart disease while she was in the hospital. Those daughters came to New York City. I went to the same hospital my mother was in. My mother didn't tell me what hospital she was in. So my mother was like, who's giving our daughters surveillance information? This NYPD also, they have my surveillance information. They had their regardless of surveillance information. They had my mother's surveillance information. So my mother was suspicious when a drug showed up in the New York hospital called Bellevue. After my mother fled Pennsylvania, left the drugs behind, and came to New York and checked herself into a hospital. And 3 days later, the drugs showed up and started making up lies about my mother that she's crazy. The hospital should lock her up because they know my mother. She's very sensitive. If you insult her, she's going to fight. So they set her up so that the hospital will arrest her, and she speaks with a Nigerian accent. Her daughter speaks with an American accent. So they used that leverage over her to get the hospital to abuse her and lock her up in the mental ward. So that's how my mother that she died angry because she had a high blood pressure. So we're locking her up wrongfully. They said they believe she must have died of stroke, and the doctor said they don't want an autopsy. And I told the hospital, please do an autopsy because my mother was saying the doctors may have been poisoned her with cancer-free poison because my mother said those doctors also were abusing her in Pennsylvania, trying to kill her early. And she said at one point one of them, Bolani, was poisoning her food with cancer-free poison, which was giving my mother bloody diarrhea and giving my mother heart attack symptoms. And my mother was saying, she was always getting jumped by street gangs, like little kids, and she who send all these people to jump her on the train, on the bus, and me also. Anywhere I go, I would get jumped. So I believe, this NYPD has hired thugs. We also enlisted my mother's daughter to try to kill me. Because as soon as I arrived at the train station, that thug surrounded me and was trying to push me to the train track. And earlier that day, a Spanish guy wearing a blue hoodie and a red jacket said something. Said they better take this one away because we're going to kill this one. He came on the 4 train at Woodland, and I started recording this Spanish guy. So I believe this is one of the narcotic gangs. They may be affiliated with my mother's daughter, and the guy that tried to push me to the train track, that's him. Was coming in and tried to push me. Then the police tried to kill me in the bathroom after that. That's him trying to push me. And I'm noticing some of the Black American rappers come around me also. So I believe some of the narcotic gangs are also saying, that I believe, so because some Black Americans told me also. So after they killed my mother, I used to go to Fulton and Franklin, a Chinese restaurant, and I know a lot of the Black Americans will try to kill me also because I guess out of jealousy, they believe the Arigana family got $5 million after Arigana was killed and they get a lot of money also. So some of them are jealous that, why should Africans get money also? And be on equal footing. So some of the Black American gangs, as soon as Arigana was killed, they were crossing to Fulton and Franklin, say you Africans, you're not going to get nothing, we're going to be killing y'all. And Arigana became mayor also. And he said his police should be arresting homeless aggressively, and Trump threw out the criminal case of Turkish bribery that Biden fought against Eric Adams last year. And this Eric Adams denies me housing. There's a court order that when they remove you from a basement apartment like that, they have to put you in a hotel room permanently. The city of New York has to put you in a hotel room. They pay Red Cross officers to do that. They told Red Cross not to help me. The Red Cross only gave me my mother 3 days hotel room and threw us out. And since then, I've been going back to Red Cross. Red Cross said my case is too old. They don't reopen old cases. So they're telling the Red Cross not to help me. And I can't get a lawyer. They just want to kill me and pay me nothing. And I believe that they'll pay the money to my mother's daughters, and then my mother's daughters can marry some of these mafia guys and launder the money. So in 2020, they approached me with that scheme. They lock up all the bathroom in the train station. So I was begging for the train. I'm from Nigeria. I don't have any bathroom to use. Then some hours later, a guy came on the train, said I could follow him home. He would let me use the bathroom in his house. Then when we got to his house, he told me I have to marry him and get some the lawsuit money, you know. So I'm trying to sue immigration and still trying to sue this police that my case was wrongfully denied. I was going through a lot of stress after they killed my friend at Ghana, and the police was, harassing me everywhere. That's why I couldn't continue my case, and the case was dismissed. So the guy told me the only way I could use the bathroom in his house is if I marry him, and he has to get half of my money through the marriage. And so I said no. And the guy started beating me up, raping me, and he told me if I dare flee, he's connected with the NYPD, they're going to kill me on the street, just set me up and kill me. So I couldn't flee, but beating got too much, so I called 911 one day. I had a wound all over my face, and the police came, took a picture of my face, and still kicked me. I didn't arrest them. They said that's his house. The house they didn't want to go. And since then I've been on this shit, and the police have been trying to kill me on the street. So please donate to my Cash App. My Cash App is NYC Homeless, so I can get an apartment. I can pay for a lawyer to represent any lawyer from anywhere in the world that's willing to come to America to represent me. I'm not looking for marriage. I'm not looking for romance, with anyone. So please, just non-conditional financial donations alone, And now this, and also if you're going to donate money to me on the street, please, the same condition apply, non-conditional financial donation or charity donation alone. I'm not looking for marriage. I'm not looking to be in any court with anybody. I'm not looking to be killed. I don't want to inherit my money. So I've been noticing they're giving my surveillance information out to people. So I'm seeing a lot of their rap stars come around me when I beg for them, they don't give me money. And they don't say nothing to me because I believe they know that I'm under FBI surveillance, so they don't want to be recorded. So I'm thinking, and a lot of their Hollywood bigs also come around me when I beg for money. They don't give me any money. So I'm wondering why these people stalking me. So I'm thinking, my mother used to tell me I look like Michael Jackson when I was young. I don't believe it. So I'm thinking, they may want to kill me and do a movie about me. So I came to America to look like I look like Michael. And I came to America to become Michael Jackson, and I got killed in the process. And so they believe some Black Americans would love that. Some Black Americans say to Africans, just to mock me in death. And I believe they're bringing this Hollywood big shots around me so that they can just add credence to it. That, we remember that homeless person. And they may even say, we met Michael Jackson before, and the first time we saw this person, the voice, we thought, this is like Michael Jackson, but we just didn't have any money to pay them. That person really was acting like Michael Jackson for real. And, so that, to get people to watch the movie. They said there's a new Michael Jackson biopic. It has already gotten 100 million views all around the world. Even the movie is not released yet. It just did a short preview, posted a short preview of the movie online. So they say anything about Michael Jackson with sales is sold like $2 billion since they died in music sales and stuff. So I believe to keep the money machine pumping, which is the Michael Jackson estate, they hope to get me killed and mock me in death. How Black Americans watch the movie, So please, no movie should be done about me unless I'm allowed to participate in that movie. Under the right of sepulchre, you have to respect someone's species even if they are dead. Even after they die, otherwise it's considered an abuse of the corpse. And in case I die, no family member or friend should administer my estate. Only civil activists like me that haven't denied me up in the past should administer my estate and get justice for me and my late mother, and donate the rest of my money to charity, to those suffering xenophobia like me and my late mother, and those being deported by Trump should be prioritized for charity assistance. And sometimes they're trying to run me over with a car. In case I become disabled, I shouldn't be deported to Nigeria or any other country. I'm not safe in Nigeria. I'm a gay person. My father was abusive to me. My father has family all over the world. He's not dead also, but so I heard. But I've been trying to get in touch, to find out, how we died. Nobody's answering me, so I don't know what's going on, But it was abusive to me in Nigeria. So in case I become disabled, someone trying to run me over with cars or scooters. So in case I become disabled, just to keep my mouth shut, and they want to put me in coma. So in case I become disabled, I shouldn't be moved out of America. I'm not safe in any country in the world. These people can kill me in any other country, put me in a nursing home somewhere and kill me there. So I'm better off in America because my father used to live here in the 1970s. My mother used to live here since 1970s. She's now dead also. So my father and mother knew a lot of people in America that know my history and stuff. So I'm better here. So some of these people may decide to speak out. My mother used to live in Brooklyn, used to live on Staten Island, the Bronx, everywhere. So some of these people are not speaking out now, but I want to remain here. At some point, some of these people may speak out. Because my mother was a very important person in the Nigerian community in America. But both my mother and father used to live here since 1970s. And now I'm being jumped, I'm being abused, and a lot of people are not speaking out now. But that's why I want to remain here, because it's always good to keep the crime scene intact and witnesses around, so I don't want to be moved to another country. You know, I may be prosecuted and killed any other country. You know, so they're hiring some Nigerian musicians also are coming around me. I'm seeing a lot of Nigerian musicians as I'm begging for money, they don't help me either. So I guess they believe they can just kill me and frame me up or whatever. So I'm not in any association with any musician or any artist, whether from Nigeria or here. I know there was a time I used to talk to this Nigerian lawyer in Canada, but I had an immigration case then. And he broke ties with me around 2003 or 4. He told me he's not really interested in Nigerians. He loves black Americans and black Canadians only. At that time, I told him I'm about to be deported, and he told me he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. That he doesn't really find Nigerians attractive. And all of a sudden, as I saw he came to America and was touching me on the train. I said, "Excuse me, you know, don't ever touch me. Who gave you my location?" And he walked away with a Spanish woman. I'm like, okay, this guy is gay. Why is he with a Spanish woman? So I don't know what is going on. I don't want to be killed and somebody creates a baby for me by a Spanish woman. So there's a lot of scammers that are standing around me. So I believe that, you know, they may want to kill me and maybe use that guy to say, you know, I gave him to say me while I was talking to him on the internet. I told him what to do if I die. No, these are scammers. His name is Yemi Asalo. His last name Asalu. His first name is Yemi. Yeah, there was a time after my mother died, I was sending multiple messages that can he borrow me money, and he promised to borrow me money, and he wouldn't send me money. Even when the police took my home, he's a lawyer in Canada. I told him, will you represent me and my mother? He said yes. And he kept my mother waiting, and now my mother is dead. He never showed up in America because he used to, when I used to talk with him, he told me he's interested in living in America. He wants to do his bar. So he has his uncle, he lives in Michigan. So he said he used to live in America before, but he decided to move to Canada. But he's interested in coming back to become a lawyer. You know, he said he's Canadian. He finally got his Canadian passport. He said he could easily get a US visa with a Canadian to work here. So no, so when the police took me and my mother's home, before my mother got killed, so I sent him my court papers, and he said he's going to represent me. I should keep waiting, he's coming to represent me. And he never showed up. And now that my mother is dead, I saw him, he was touching me on the train, and he had a Spanish woman near him. You know, so I guess this gang, they are trying to reconnect me with all these people and then kill me so they can then say, oh, this is my online friend. That Nigerian guy, Yemi Asalo, is a fraud. He's been lying to me and I want him arrested because he uses law license to trick me like he's going to represent me. You know, he was acting like already had a New York law license, because the last time I spoke with him in 2003 before, I told him, you know, I'm about to be deported, and he broke ties with me, so he doesn't like Nigerians, he doesn't find Nigerians attractive, he's only into black Americans and black Canadian. I said he already has a boyfriend now, he's a black Canadian, and he was like, bye, I can't talk to you anymore. You know, at that time I was trying to help him to see if he can come and represent me in the immigration court, because my mother had a heart attack then, and she couldn't afford to hire me a lawyer, and he told me he was interested in practicing law in America. So I was like, I used this opportunity to help me, and told me, bye Felicia. And my name is not Felicia, but I was like, no, I don't even like Nigerians, I'm not attracted to Nigerians at all. He said he doesn't like Nigerians, he's not attracted to us, they're usually very ugly. You know, I said black Americans are beautiful, and, you know, I said, you know, and he was so condescending. He comes from a rich family in Nigeria, you know, so I was like, okay, bye. So I guess now, you know, the gang members recruited him, say, okay, this person, you know, we were trying to kill this person, and he showed up in America, and he touched me on the train, you know. So this NYPD is recruiting black American gangs to disrespect me, push me on the train track in Penn Station. So this is the real white supremacy country. So FIFA is not set to bring the World Cup here. They're disrespecting the Africans, you know. They're disrespecting Africans here in America. It's not safe. You know, just because I have a newspaper in my bag, they say my bag stinks, and they were going to shoot me dead and take that bag from me. And nobody would have believed, everybody would have believed them. They would have said that bag was smelling, that person was crazy, we had to go burn that bag. You know, and they were just going to kill me fun because I had a newspaper, New York Law Journal. So New York Law Journal, they're terrorizing your readers. Please, you're a bunch of lawyers. Don't be coward. Get these people arrested. Anytime I read the New York Journal, before they killed Eric Garner, I used to read that New York Journal at the library. And now they told the Brooklyn Library to stop carrying the New York Journal. And they went and killed Eric Garner. You know, because it was through that New York Law Journal I was able to type my case, because I was reading other cases and I was knowing about the law. You know, and they killed Eric Garner because of you, New York Law Journal, because your newspaper is very informative. And Eric Garner was reading my complaint. He said, you make a lot of legal sense. I said, yeah, I do read a lot of New York Law Journal. He said, you articulate your claim very well. I said, you don't need a lawyer. He said, your complaint is good enough. Say, I will support you in court. I will be a friend of the court to you. And say, because he's been living on Staten Island for a long time. So he said he knows that the police in Staten Island is corrupt. And he knew, and Eric Garner knew about the Floyd versus City of New York case in Brooklyn Federal Court at that time. And the order by the Brooklyn Federal Court that the police should stop invading people's homes without a search warrant. So Eric Garner was going to testify in court to put the nail on the coffin of this NYPD corruption, and they killed him first and nailed him to the coffin. So they were able to kill him before he could nail at them at the corruption. But Letitia James, New York Law Journal, I'm not a gambler. I don't want to say the ball is in your court, because they want to link me to gambling in the future. I'm not gambling with these people. I don't know them. These are manipulative. So now, the ball is in your court. This is a general expression. This doesn't make me a gambler. I'm not in a betting game with these people. But I say inheritance scam is so rampant here in America that when people die in Brooklyn and their children try to inherit the house the parents left behind, strangers will show up and claim, no, your parents was a gambler and so gave the house to us as a betting. They say all kinds of lies. So I'm not a gambler, I'm not a bettor. So they're sending all kinds of people my way, trying to push me in the train track, trying to force some people to tell me they want to take me home. I'm saying, no, I'm good. I'm not a prostitute. So I think they believe we can kill this African and just make up lies and steal all their state money. So I'm not a surrogate. I didn't approve anybody to have a child for me or create a child for me. I didn't adopt anybody's child. Sometimes as I'm begging for money on the street, some people try to touch my breast and say, oh, happy Santa. So I didn't employ anybody to be my Santa. I didn't employ anybody to go and deposit any sperm in a woman's chimney, in a VJJ. I'm not looking for a surrogate. So they have people trying to grab my breast on the street as I'm begging for money. I have to be running away from them. So these are perverts here in America that the NYPD is employing to rob Africans. They stole my green card when my mother was alive. They were stealing my mother's American passport. Another African that's homeless on the street, he said they stole all his passport and green card. Another African I met said they locked him up, a Nigerian, he said they locked him up on his lock him up in a mental ward. So they're abusing Africans like crazy. And this Eric Garner is supporting. This is some black Americans who want vengeance against Africans for the slavery. So it's having this pound of flesh. So Letitia James, New York Law Journal, everybody, civil activists, please, this case has to go to court immediately. And anybody that wants to donate money to me, it should be non-conditional financial charity donation alone. That's all I'm accepting. So, please don't try to scam me and disguise it as any other thing. Donate to my Cash App, NYC Homeless, or some of you donate to me in person. Just $1 and $1, nothing big. Nobody's really helping me out. I'm still homeless on the street. I can't afford a hotel room. I can't afford a lawyer. So I'm freezing out here, and they're jumping me everywhere. So this is what's going on. Yeah. So please watch my video and please share it, make it viral, send it to everybody online. So you can see this NYPD terrorist organization.